The 4-year-old along a fence line, and police taped off the little girl's home around 9 p.m.
The instrumentalities.
Investigators unearthed the truth. 3 years later, the accused Arizona...
No new updates at this point, no searches that we know of. So hopefully someone will see something and call authorities in Tennessee soon.
What's your name?
Xana.
It's just time to move on.
Residents of the community are now being warned to stay vigilant.
Hear anything? Is it a scream? Right now it's 6. The search for Madalina Kojikari gaining extra firepower. And it's not from police. It has now been 67 days since the 11-year-old was last seen.
Cornelius police have said her mother and stepfather are not being forthcoming.
Huntress? Can't hear you. You're muted or something. Hey, Luna. Oh, I'm glad I didn't just have my sound turned down and I thought she was muted.
I woke up just in time, girl.
Did you? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I've got to post it again for Huntress, guys. Y'all, no one come up yet. This streamer links for Huntress, and then we'll do an open panel as soon as we get done playing that video.
Oh, you want me to jump down?
No, you're good. You can just sit up here while we play the video and stuff. If you
I'm
want.
okay.
Did you just wake up?
Yeah, I just woke up. I had a rough day.
Oh, sorry.
I got-
Okay, there's.
I got reprimanded again. Love it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why it does that.
Okay, let's see who we've got. Let's see who we've got in the house. So we got Tashi and Tutti Fruity. Rick's Clicks. There's a lot of you here. I'm still tired. I just woke up not long ago. I took a nap. It won't let me click on Rick's Clicks comment. Hey, Angie Gibson, Reaper's Grim Smile, where have you been? Silent J, Grandmammy Annie was number 16 to hit the like. Sissy says, rumor has it Dawn and Candace got into another altercation and Candace has left and gone to a friend in Georgia per police. I heard PJ say that on Dolly and on their live earlier. I just rewatched it. Just the part about Summer, and I heard her say that, and I was like, ooh, I knew that was coming. And I also heard her say that she thought she heard somewhere that Dawn might have a little side hussy somewhere, and that's why he didn't want Candace to come back home.
Wow.
Come on, Michelle Bell. Isn't that crazy? I could totally see that.
Ooh.
I could totally see that.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me.
Me either. Hey, Robin. Robin.
He's
It was
gonna
Robin with an
snatch her
I.
underwear.
Huh?
So he'll snatch her underwear.
Put up your undies. Cha-Cha. Guys, Cha-Cha is Donna Merman, guys. If y'all don't know, she changed her name. So y'all... Okay. Lanessa Boo, Pin 1010 says hi, guys. Backroad Becky, hi, love. Jenny from the block was number 35. Hindsight, so I'm going to go a little bit faster, sorry. Angie Dare. Lori Oregon. So who's going to talk first? Do you mean Dawn and Candace? Do you mean between those two? Or between the whole hill? Hey, Lily. Hey, Sunshine. Oh, you hope you stay awake. Dawn Michelle is number 38. I can't with this case. So many people and possibilities. It's too much. Tell me about it. Hey, Kay's Candle. She says, hello, Musky Rats. Guys, I'm going to, I'm making so cute. I'm making a Muskie Rats badge we can all wear proudly, virtually. Hey, good vibes. Dang, y'all are up late. There's a lot of people up late. That's a reasonable theory, hindsight. Oh, I missed it. Hold on, let me go up. She says the Wells want us to believe that. Truth is, she was left in that truck by drunk, tired mom, and she had a heat stroke. CPS was there the day before, so Candace freaked out and got rid of her. Very simple. A lot of people's theory.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, we've definitely heard that before.
I think not. I mean, I think it's out of jealousy, not because she was drunk, but.
Missy Dawn says, does anyone else think getting rid of Summer is why Dawn drove that car today? Yes. I mean, I don't know. It could have honestly just been a coincidence, but he never had drove it before, and it didn't have any of his stuff. He had to like transfer his work stuff to that car, the clean new car, to drive it. It makes no sense. What did Lindley say? I will be seeing your man. Oh my gosh, how do you say that? It's Bergen this weekend in Indy. It makes more sense to me than Don selling his built-in victim. Sickening. Hey, wait. Where's Penny? Penny Riddle. Hey, Penny Riddle. Hi, Anna.
Hey, Penny.
I've lost my glasses, y'all. I give up on trying to see. Oh, snap. Who got me a member badge? Oh, did someone get you a membership? Oh, last night, I had a few people give memberships, and I was so into the chat, I didn't even point it out or say thank you. So I'm guessing it's one of them. Hi, Mab and RJ. Don Wells took the Subaru to work before the 15th, so he had took it before. Wind Women Designs, Nana Butterfly. Who else we got? Shanae. We got y'all all in here. Okay, I know all of you have heard the 911 phone call where she says, Mommy, help. And
I have not heard that.
Okay, well, is it? Oh, it's so sickening. Hey, Dev Vlogs. Yeah, I got my baby. I got my baby teddy bear. Oh, my hair tickled his face. So in the call, she says, Mommy, help. And at the right after she's saying help, Candace, you can tell she's visibly upset that what's happening this summer because she starts crying, and she says he's trying to hurt Summer to the 911 operator, and she sounds so desperate and sad, like she was really, Hold on, I'll play it. Let me download it. I screen recorded it from another video. I didn't have headphones. My daughter stole my headphones, so. Hey, Lisa A, Lanybug, Robin N, Teresa M, Kathy Blanks, Messy Jessie, Miss PJ, Michelle Reed Duncan. Guys, if there's something super important y'all want me to see, tag my name or something, because there's a lot of comments. Makes me nauseous hearing it. All right, that's an altered recording from the October domestic violence incident. Cha-cha! It's not a rocker. It's just my computer chair, but I'm teddy bear sleeping. I gotta rock him in stitches. All right, let's pull up this video, y'all. Did you hear her? He's trying to hurt Summer. Is that too quiet? Do y'all want me to go to the original YouTube video?
I could hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I could
But I
hear
also
it
have
too.
my headset in.
She says, "Mommy, help me!" And then she says, "He's trying to hurt Summer," and she just sounds so desperate. I'll rewind it a little bit. That's so sad, y'all. He's trying to hurt Summer. Did y'all hear her little voice at the beginning? Let me play it one more time at the beginning for y'all to hear her voice. That breaks my heart, y'all. That's the 911 DV call. Thank you, Cardinals fan. Coming in hot with a $5 super chat. Hey, love. I hope you're doing good. Isn't that sad, y'all? Isn't that so heartbreaking? What do y'all think about it? To me, I think it sounds like a mother seriously upset, sad, like helpless sounding. Like he's trying to hurt Summer, you know? And I'm sure she was under the influence of something, but it didn't change the fact that she felt helpless. You know? That's my opinion. What do y'all think?
I don't know that she sounded helpless. Not in my opinion.
No, she was definitely drunk.
That's kind of what I was thinking. She
Yeah.
just sounded like strung out, maybe. She
Good
dang
vibes.
sure didn't sound like she was trying to protect her kid, in my opinion.
Hey, Tennessee sweetheart, you're already in bed. Oh my gosh, her granddaughters will be there at 6. Hey, Lori P. I think more is said. Good Vibes said that we need to listen to the background more.
There is a lot of background noise. It did sound like she was saying she's trying to hurt, or he's trying to hurt Summer. I did kind of catch that.
Lily Eve says, yeah, that's what I heard it too. Luna. Lily Eve says, I heard he's trying to Summer, but that's just me and what I hear. Yeah, that's 100% what she said, in my opinion. 100% in my opinion.
If somebody was trying to hurt my kid, I cannot say I would be that calm on a call.
I wouldn't need to call 911. I'd have to call the coroner because I'd kill him.
Right. RJ says, BB, hey, BB Diamond. He says, 110 Ben Hill Road was fully searched, including the old septic tanks on the property. Do y'all remember when I pulled up the picture of the clothes found in the woods in a trash can, and everyone was calling me crazy for thinking it was Summer? Well, it sounds like PJ has found, hold on, a Reddit post with everyone talking about it, and they are also saying stuff like they haven't tested it to make sure it was Summer, guys, and that it was a child. Hold on, let me pull up the article and I'll show y'all. Did you two get to watch Dolly and PJ earlier, so y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I did.
I was there watching. I couldn't necessarily hear everything with my wild children, but I planned on watching it again when I went to bed.
Okay. Anna says, "Rot Huntress, why isn't she ripping Summer away from him?" Oh, he wouldn't be able to be standing up.
See, she just seemed too calm to me
Yeah.
for somebody to be trying to hurt her baby.
Yeah.
It sounds like Candace is trying to make her case more believable. Sounds like you would talk to your kid if it was a bumped elbow or scraped knee, not if Dawn was hurting her. Hey, Polly Waffle, you're number 41. Ruby Joy, you missed it too. Okay. Well, this is what PJ was mentioning. Let's see if I can get rid of this ad. Okay, so.
Ew. Oh, that's disgusting. What the hell's that?
Okay, this is what the child's remains were found wrapped up in, and apparently inside a sleeping bag. There was a sleeping bag, and there was a white blanket with flowers on it, which I think that's what we see right here, and fragments of Winnie the Pooh cloth, which I don't know if that would be clothing or what. They didn't show the Winnie the Pooh clothing or fragments or whatever, but the child remains were completely what do you call it? They had
Decomposed.
Yes, they had decomposed completely to the point where they couldn't even tell if it was a male or female child. And I think there was some hair left there. The hair was blonde. But this was found 2 hours away from Dawn and Candace, but Dolly says that they were in that area at a Waffle House before. Dawn and Candace were. So it says a federal website that tracks missing persons has filed a report that says human remains found in Iron Ridge area of Carroll, which is in Virginia, Carroll County last year were those of an I can't even speak. Were those of an unknown child. The National Missing and Identified Persons System, an agency that works with the U.S. Department of Justice, is reporting on January 11th, confirming that these remains were human. Neither police nor NamUs have publicly speculated about who the remains could belong to. Investigators at the Carroll County Sheriff's Office reported that on September 6, 2022, emergency responders received a call from a citizen believing that they had found human remains. Okay, according to the report published by NameUs.gov, which was shared by the private Virginia Missing Group on social media, skeletal remains of a young child were found in a trash can in a wooded area. Carroll County Sheriff Kevin Kemp says that the evidence was sent to the Office of the State Medical Examiner in Roanoke for analysis. Police have released Roanoke. You're right.
Roanoke.
Police have released no further information since last September. So I know that they had said that there was a boy missing, and they tested these remains for him to see if it was him, and it was not. And I don't know if they've tested for anyone else, but apparently they have not tested the remains to be Summer. You know, guys, I was watching.
Anna said that Summer's hair was still super short though when she went missing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much hair you would find.
Yeah, I don't know how much hair was found. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there we go. It was only 1 to 2 inches strands of straight hair. Indeterminate of color, so not even blonde. I was wrong about it being blonde. I thought I read somewhere it was blonde, but I'm sure it was dirty and everything for the decomp, process. But I was watching a cold case file episode today or yesterday, and they had "Hey Reapers, Go Smile, how are you?" and T Swain, and they had took they had found skeletal remains that were 40 years old and got DNA from those skeletal remains and identified and then compared it to this woman that they believed was the sister of the unidentified skeletal remains. So they can easily get, like it's not undoable, especially with all this everything. We have grown so much. I thought these remains would be tested. I really thought it was her. I really did too, T Swain. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was crazy when I shared this. Okay, it says medical examiners estimated the skeletal remains to be that of a pre-adolescent of undetermined gender or ethnicity. Gosh, y'all, my brain's not working. What is that word? Ethnicity?
I don't know. I can't see it. It's blowed up, I guess.
I'm going back to school.
I can't see where you're at.
Look at Teddy's legs. Estimated to have been 4 to 7 years old. Guys, Summer was 5 years old when she went missing. It's ethnicity, I believe. Evidence collected from the scene also included remains of 1 to 2 inch strands of straight hair, indeterminate color, according to the report, as well as gray-blue sleeping bag, a white blanket with pink flowers, and Winnie the Pooh fragments of orange/pink cloth located near the body. The online report also includes a photo of the blanket and sleeping bag. The report says the postmortem interval, which is the PMI, or the time elapsed since death, was estimated to be 5 years. So the PMI could easily be inaccurate, okay? So just because it was estimated to be 5 years doesn't mean that was correct. Virginia Missing noted that the child would have likely died around 2017 if the PMI is accurate. Investigators with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office confirmed with the newspaper that additional DNA results regarding the case are still pending. So, what is this? It says the organization reports that over 600,000 individuals go missing in the United States every year, and that tens of thousands of individuals remain missing for more than 1 year. What many agencies consider cold cases. It is estimated that 4,400 unidentified bodies are recovered each year, with approximately 1,000 of those bodies remaining unidentified after 1 year. Can you imagine? I was watching this case about an interrogation of this mom who her boyfriend said he was tired of the kids. Yeah, you can come up, Reaper's Grim Smile. And said she wanted it was either him or the kids, basically. Okay, she had to get rid of the kids if she wanted him to stay. So she took them and dropped them off at some park area. And when she was leaving, I think he was like a 5-year-old little boy chased her car. Where did Luna go?
I don't know. I think she probably lost service.
Chased her car, and somehow he passed away. That was just her. That was her story. I'm sure they did something to, hey, Josephine, no matter what, this is a baby that needs to be identified. Absolutely. Absolutely, this baby needs to be identified. 5 to 7-year-old baby. Did it say 5 or 4? 4 to 7-year-old child. Reapers, can I see your face just in the back chat real quick, and I'll add you up? Okay. Hey, Mapsters.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh man, my face is hurting.
Your face hurts.
Yeah.
Hey, Reefers, Grim Smile. How are you?
Good.
You good? Are you okay?
Yeah, I've been trying to get creators to look at what you have up there about that body in Carroll County,
Yes.
and they just keep dismissing me.
I know. That's what happened with me. I showed the body, and they were all like, there's no way that's Summer. They kept, telling me reasons it wouldn't be Summer, and I was like, okay. So I just dropped it.
Depending on whether, if she was moved to several different locations, this, that, and the other, they may not be able to determine if it was recent or older.
That's what I'm saying.
They got forensic tools that can
the
make that
estimated
out.
BMI could easily. Hold on.
Yeah, but if she was in anywhere in water, that would help the decomp faster.
Yep. And depending on
If
the
she
weather.
was in heat,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? And then two, and it said estimated time. That doesn't mean that is the exact time. Right? Okay, and mitochondrial DNA is in the bone of a person. That comes from the mother, right?
Yeah.
So they could get that out of the bone, and they could test that with her brothers or her older sister or anybody. They don't have to test it with the Wells. And it may not be determined by their DNA specifically. And somebody asked me today, well, use logically thinking, why would there still be an Amber Alert? Why would there still be? Because logically thinking, they don't want to tip anyone off if they're investigating that.
You're right.
And it didn't say that the body was identified, so therefore they can keep the Amber Alert up. And the law enforcement ain't going to tell everything they're doing.
You're right. They're not. I don't know if the body was dismembered. I don't think they know. They said it was so badly decomposed they couldn't even tell the gender. So.
No, I didn't say dismembered. Like.
No, not you, Anna.
Oh, okay. Okay. But, I mean, the sleeping bag and the Winnie the Pooh blanket, if you look at them, they don't look that old. They don't look like it's been there 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
They look too new to be that old.
Apparently, inside that blanket and Winnie the Pooh sleeping bag, the body was in a trash bag or something inside of those cloths. So the sleeping bag and the blanket were exposed to the weather and everything. So if they were that old, they would have been
like, yeah,
ruined too.
Did you even see mold on them? There's the question.
Let me look. I'll pull it back up for y'all.
I mean, what you're seeing on there to me would be like dirt and not to be gross, but like eggs from maggots, but not mold.
That's what I saw too, the maggot eggs and everything. Here it is.
Do you see any mold on them?
With forensic tools they have now, I think they could figure it out. I just did put
I see no mold.
See, there would be some kind of, like if you leave a shirt wet, let's say you go swimming and you leave your towel outside and it gets wet, right? Even in a container, it's going to grow some kind of black coloring on it from like souring and mildew, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see a little bit of green and everything right here, but that's not.
It ain't old enough. It would have grown moss on it up in Tennessee, don't you think?
Yeah.
And up in Virginia.
And it even looks like this is decomp fluids. I'm sorry to be
Yeah.
gross right
Yeah,
here.
that's
Looks
on there.
pretty new.
There
It
wouldn't
looks pretty
be
new on that.
those kind of fluids on there if the body has been there for several years.
Exactly. That would have
Yeah.
dried up and molded and grew moss.
It's stained
Yep.
too. It's stained. Oh my gosh. That's awful. Surely, guys, surely they would test for Summer's DNA, right?
They might be doing
RJ
that
said
through.
they ruled Summer out in the very beginning that it wasn't her.
Who said that?
RJ?
How does he know? Did they tell him that? I don't think so. They won't tell anybody that. I haven't heard anything like that.
Well, ruled out as
How y'all doing?
okay. How are you, Matt? I'm sorry your mouth's hurting so bad tonight.
Yeah, it's hell.
It says
RJ, that one's just as hard to think about.
it says Carroll County Doe / Summer Wills has never been excluded 1 day ago. So on YouTube, that's just from a YouTube. But let me click web sleuths. Websleuths.com. Because these are facts, but still, we're gonna click on it. Someone said, "I wonder how
RJ
confident
says,
you are."
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll wait to read. Go ahead.
I was just saying, RJ says, here's a better theory than it was Summer. Could it have been Cody Bigsby?
100% it could have been, but
That's just as hard to think about.
it
Cody
is.
Bigsby.
Oh my gosh, bless it. So I
Could
wonder
be.
if I wonder
But I'm
if
going to drop down.
Okay, thank you for coming up, Reapers.
You're welcome.
Cheer up, Reapers. She sounds so sad. Oh, she's okay.
Cody Bigsby hits hard too. There's not
Yeah.
on that baby either.
We need to ask Nancy, the one that has organized everything for Cody Bixby and runs the Cody Bixby page. We need to ask her what she thinks of it. Mildew, moss, so many things in this humidity. Yeah. Oh, okay, Mab. BB Diamond says go to Walmart and get hurricane gel for your mouth.
I got it.
He's got it.
I've got the stuff from Mrs. Mab's Hygiene. She can buy it by the bag.
That's good. Yeah, I figured you'd have it. Didn't you say a hair? It was 1 inch to 2 inch strands of hair found with the remains, but I thought it said blonde hair. Okay, I was remembering it said blonde hair, but I guess I had that in my head because of something. Because it says the hair color on that website, it said the hair color couldn't be determined. Yeah,
They,
they
could forensically test the hair, even if it's like half an inch.
Right, yeah. They only need a little bit of piece. Teresa,
Sorry, I'm talking so weird.
no, you're okay, Mab. You're okay. You're okay. Don't even worry about it. Teresa M says, when was this found and where? Carroll County, Virginia on September 6, 2000. What did I type? 2022 is when that body was found. Or the remains, Pete. Who's having a hard time, Pete? Which PJ?
Miss PJ.
Oh.
I hope you feel better, Miss PJ.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, Mab. Yeah, we understand, Mab. You're good. So someone on this Sleuths page says, I wonder how confident they are about the BMI because this is where Logan Bowman disappeared. And it says Logan's photos. Oh, so he's the one that was missing for 20 years, I believe. 22 years or 20 years is what PJ is talking about. And they did rule him out. So, oh my gosh. And apparently the mom that unalived that boy only got a year in prison for doing it.
Wow. Good night, Brittany.
Thanks for the prayers, chat.
Good night, Brittany. Get some sleep. 2.5 hours from Summer Wells. PMI would have been off, but that's not a stretch. I think that I vaguely remember a case that referenced Winnie the Pooh sheets. Can't remember if it was Summer or another. And she then corrects herself and said, oh, it was Kaylee Anthony that she was thinking about with the Winnie the Pooh sheets. I think after they manage to get usable DNA, this case will be solved quickly. They'll know if this child is a boy or girl, and hopefully he or she is known to be missing. Yeah, hopefully it's not a child that a parent easily got rid of.
Seems like they could tell male or female. Just
I know.
by the-
I know. But if it was a child and their bones weren't fully developed, you know?
They got some dumb people doing that.
Okay, this says on September. This is a Carroll County Sheriff's Office. It says on September 6, 2022, Carroll County Sheriff's Office and Carroll County Fire and Rescue were dispatched to the Iron Ridge area of Carroll County in reference to a citizen that believed they had found human remains. Sheriff's Office patrol units arrived on scene and began investigating, at which time Criminal Investigation Division was also requested. The scene processed by CID and potential evidence was collected. A submission to the state medical examiner's office was submitted. The sheriff's office is currently working closely with the state medical examiner's office. Updates will be provided as they are available. So they haven't no updates for over a year. Well, almost a year. A month shy of a year. That's weird. All right, let me read chat real quick, guys. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat. Did Lena lose signal again?
Okay. No idea.
Yeah, the pelvic bone are different.
The
from
pelvic bones are
female
different.
to male.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell easily.
Maybe some. We don't know if the bones were intact. Like, what if the pelvic bone was missing? You know?
Yeah, coyotes could have got to it.
Yeah. Hey, Allison Morton. Oh, you're okay. I love our Muskie Rat family too, Miss PJ. Oh, Luna, I just saw you said, can I get a link? I'm sorry. I was on this website, but I pinned it in case anyone wants to come up.
It's okay. It's my fault. My phone, for some reason,
I can't
StreamYard
wait
really
till I
takes
can
the.
talk good.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
RJ.
Mav, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
You must have been the person to tell me in the first place that Summer was ruled out from this, huh?
I was the person trying to tell you that, yes. WJHL, WCYB, whatever local, I can't find the article. It's actually coming back as a 404 error right now. I've even tried to search Carroll County newspaper. But one of the local news stations here in Tennessee reported within a couple weeks' time that the investigators were confident that this was nothing to do with Summer Wells.
How do they know that?
The investigators reported it to WJHL or CYB. They asked the investigators that if it was related to Summer, if they believed it was possibly related to Summer Wells, and they said no.
How do they do that so fast?
I believe there was some the clothing that was found, or the cloth, the materials did not match what Summer Wells was reported to be wearing last.
Yeah, but you gotta get into the DNA.
That's true. That's true. Which, from my understanding, is that it's not. It's a normal habit when they have a missing child that they believe is unalived, that they're going to have the DNA profile on available, and it wouldn't take as long as it would as people think, because the parental DNA would already be developed. And basically, really, what they need to do is start with finding out if it's XX or XY chromosomes.
You know what? That's Shanae. You're both right. Y'all both. I read that the same time you said that. If they did rule out that boy that had been missing for 20 some years, then how do they not know the DNA, the sex of the unidentified skeletal remains?
It starts with finding out if it's XX or XY chromosomes.
So they should know, right?
They know. They're just not telling anybody. Okay. That's the part they're not telling anybody. This is why I'm saying it makes more sense to be Cody. Yeah, I'm forgetting the last name all of a sudden. It makes more sense to be him than it does Summer Wells.
True.
Don't you hate when they know this stuff and they just keep quiet?
They have to for the investigation.
Yeah, I mean, I know they do, but there's so much stuff we could know, and we probably will never. I mean, I get why, but
Baby Diamond, that's an absolutely excellent point.
That is Reaper's Grim Smile. Yes, do not apologize. Do you hear some of the crazy stuff I say up here? You come up anytime and you say whatever you feel needs to be said. People worry too often that their theories or opinions are too silly to vocalize. But if we're up here doing it, why can't they? You know? Oh no, we've got people backstage I didn't see.
Oh, good shit.
We've got Reapers and Shanae. Okay. Shanae?
Hello. I just noticed that you covered what I said just as he said it. So.
Yes, y'all said it. I found yours. I saw yours.
Yeah. It's just as I was like waiting for you to let me in, I saw that you had acknowledged mine, and he had said the same thing, that they would know at this point if they were XY or XX chromosomes. So that's why they're probably pretty sure that it's not Summer Wells.
Yeah, that's one, Shanae, that is one of the fastest tests they could possibly do as far as DNA or chromosome mapping or anything like that. Is a simple XXXY chromosome test. That's one of the quickest ones they're going to do.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, as soon as they tested for that, and they said that it wasn't whoever they thought it was, that missing boy, but then they say that they're confident that it's not Summer Wells. My guess would be that it came back as an XY chromosome.
Yeah. I apologize that I can't find it. I'm getting a 404 gateway, which basically means the article has been taken offline by the news source. But I remember it being either WJHL or WCYB, which is a news station out of Johnson City or news station out of Bristol. And I want to lean towards Bristol because they cover more of Bristol and the Virginia side of things of what's going on than they do the Tennessee side of what's going on. In fact, WCYB is actually in Virginia.
What, Matt?
I said RJ's pretty sharp.
Yes, he knows a lot about that. So RJ, what were you saying about that phone call being altered?
So the something, I don't know who, I don't know what, I don't know where, when, all the information of that kind of detail, but this has been washed and altered and things have been added to it. The original 911 call from October DV incident was just Candace calling 911 and Don Wells hollering at her in the background. And at one point you heard grandma. You never heard any of the kids in that phone call.
What time was it?
I'm sorry?
What time was it?
That's why I'm saying I'm sorry. I don't understand your question.
What time
What
was the
time
phone
was
call?
the
What time of the day?
911 call?
I don't know what time of day it was. I believe it was the DV incident that happened was after supper. It was dark. I couldn't give you an exact time.
All right.
I'm going to look for the original, see if anyone on YouTube has posted it, see if I can,
I believe somebody has posted the original. However, that person's not on YouTube any longer.
RJ.
That's
Yes,
strange.
Yes, ma'am.
I bet
Can I ask-
Betty's got it. I bet Betty still has it.
maybe.
You know
I'll
she's
look.
collected all the 911 calls.
Yeah, I'll look. What? Okay, who was that Reaper's Grown Small that wanted to say something to RJ?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it possible they took it down because they're not sure whose body that is?
I would believe by now they have a very good idea who it is.
Now,
It's been close to 2 years.
the XY chromosome, right?
Mhm.
Would that come out of the bones?
They're going to take with the state of the that the corpse was in. Yes, they're going to take bone marrow to find out the DNA.
Well, they could find that mitochondrial then.
But is it just
Nothing's been said.
girl?
I never saw where it was ruled out that it was Summer.
It was either on WJHL or WCYB. Like I said, I lean more towards WCYB because this was a Virginia story.
Okay, could it have been taken down because they're questioning maybe it is Summer?
I don't think so. I don't think that's why this was taken down. I think it was just that it was like if you go to a website and look for old information from a couple years ago, it may be just taken down off the server for server space or compressed or something like that, and it's just no longer available. That's what a Gateway 404 rejection actually means.
Was it not available? I believe it could have been false info, like they weren't. They posted something too soon that they weren't sure of, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so because it's coming from a credible news source.
Isn't a 404 a broken link, or is that a 400?
That's
credible news source. That's funny.
Well, credible for Tennessee being WCYB. That's a major news channel around here.
Yeah, but you know the media.
Yeah. And in covering Summer Wells, and the news around this area is actually pretty much right down the middle. I'm not going to say
All
it's
right.
perfectly down the middle when reporting.
To me, media is no different than JLR. I'm
That's
serious.
comparing apples and oranges. Come on now.
Not to me.
I would.
The
think
news is wrong
that-
all the time. They're all reporters.
Yeah.
They are not factual people. They are not investigators. They are news reporters.
Correct. They're news reporters.
So to
They
me,
have
they're
an
no better than
obligation.
JLR.
They have
They
an
put out
obligation that
what they're
JLR does
told.
not of ethics and fact checking.
Okay, maybe
JLR can come out tomorrow and say the sky is purple, and if he wants to say it, he can say it. But
so can
that's
any other
not the
reporter
truth.
though. So can any other reporter, and maybe it was taken down, and maybe they were reprimanded for jumping on it too soon, and that's why they were taken down.
I don't believe that's the case. I believe this is a story that no longer was getting attention from people, and that they took it off of online because there was no need for that story to stay out there any longer.
Exactly, online. So they were trying to get attention also, like YouTube does.
That. Sorry, can you hear me?
Interesting.
Yes, we can hear you, Shimone.
Okay, I was gonna say that, like, regardless of the mitochondrial DNA, they wouldn't even go that far until they
Why
at
wouldn't
least
they?
type matched. Well,
Why
if
wouldn't
they
they?
type matched it as an XY chromosome, then they wouldn't go any further trying to verify if it was someone's
But
DNA.
that's the thing. Do we know for a fact that they matched it with an XY chromosome? We don't know anything about it.
Well, if they say they're confident it wasn't her and they were testing missing
I didn't see
male
that.
juveniles at the time, I would say that it's most likely that they just did at least they probably tested the DNA at one point against the boy that they thought it was.
Well, I'm allowed to
and
have
at
my
that
own
point, if
opinion,
it did
and
oh yeah, you absolutely are.
well, I
No,
didn't
I'm
see
not.
anything saying that she was ruled out. I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Well, I thought in the article that Dumpling just read, it said something along the lines of that it's what was it? It was I can't think of what it's most likely not her. Like whatever the article said.
Dumpling, did it say that?
What? Let me go back to it. Hang on.
Because to me, news reporters are no better than a man walking down the street saying something.
Yep.
I would agree with you if it was
I agree with
national
that.
media.
I mean, I would
would
totally
agree
agree
with
with
you
that
if it was
too.
national media, but not with it being a local story and the local news the way they've covered it.
Yeah.
Why can't they say what they
They've
want,
done
though?
very well.
Why can't they say what they want, like JLR does?
Hi, Blue Eyes Dumplings. Okay, I don't.
Local is better than national. I
Reapers,
agree.
do you know JLR's history?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, and you
I
still-
find him more
and no
credible than I find news reporters. I'm sorry. He actually shows the proof.
He has
Does he
zero
not?
credibility.
He shows
But he
his
shows
proof
proof.
to fit his
He
fit
shows
his
proof.
narrative.
Well, it doesn't
To
matter.
fit
He
his
shows proof,
narrative.
and I'm not
It
a
doesn't
fan of
mean that
him
it's
to
the
let you
proof
know all
of
that.
an actual case. It's just proof to fit the narrative that he wants it to fit.
But he shows proof.
JLR is
Man.
very intense.
I don't like him, so there you go.
I agree, Candace. Like news reporters have to say what they're told, and if they go out of line and say what they
Exactly.
want for their opinions, they get fired. You know.
Exactly. JLR doesn't have a producer behind him telling him what to say.
Yeah,
He does
JLR
himself.
He's like a self-investigator. He's like a self-made investigator who is also able to say his opinions, and that makes I don't even know what it makes.
But JLR seems really intense, and it seems like he has an agenda.
What you're describing, Dumpling, is that it makes, if you ever read the newspaper and you look at the op-ed section, it's opinion editorial. That's what JLR is. It's people, average people writing letters to the newspaper editor about articles and news stories they've already covered.
Okay, here's another question. I'm really not trying to argue with anyone. It's just questions because I have been stuck on this since it came out about this body and nothing's come out about it. And there's nothing saying, in my opinion, that I saw that it wasn't Summer or any other child that's missing for that matter. And the other question I have, they haven't arrested anybody yet. So they're obviously looking into something. And so far, this is all we have. What else do we have that they're looking into? Evidence-wise, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's my opinion, but the longer this investigation goes into what happened to Summer Wells, the longer it goes, the further they go out, it's broadening the target back on the parents and making them the focus of the investigation.
Right.
Well, they are pretty shady.
And the recent activities that they've displayed, and now they're apparently legally been forced to separate.
Yeah.
Is going to put even a larger target on them. There's a behavior of I wanted to say their behavior is disintegrating.
Yeah. I feel like they're turning on each other.
If you go back to what Don Wells had done since he was a teenager.
Yep.
It is very shocking that he's not behind bars for life.
Do you get the feeling that they're trying to turn on, that either they're turning on each other or law enforcement's hoping they will if they're separated?
I have actually been saying that they're going to be turning on each other.
I feel like they are.
And one of them is going to accidentally. Mab, my apologies. I'll hush for you in a second so you can say your point. I have a funny feeling that they are turning on each other, and this latest debacle with the police involvement forcing them to separate, no matter how much they're spinning it, is just an example of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I think
I'll jump down.
Candace will be the one to break.
I'm going to jump down, Dumpling. Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to find the original 911 call while y'all discussed that. But
yeah, the only place I know of it being located is a channel that doesn't exist anymore.
oh my gosh, all my cats are piling up here in one spot with me. Okay. What was the channel that Molly? Is that who you're talking about? Yep. Okay, so Michelle After Dark, she has Molly's clip of that call on her channel. I could play it if I can hear exactly what she has. Huntress, can you hold it down for a second if I listen to this and mute?
Yeah, go ahead. I've just been reading emails from people.
RJ, it seems like you got a firm grasp on the Summer Wells case.
I've been following it since the 911 dispatch call.
RJ is also a local. You'll have to keep that in mind too.
Yeah, I live in Hawkins County.
Oh.
Ooh, excuse me.
I think it was an accident and they covered it up.
That is also my opinion. I believe this was an accident that was covered up. And the location that worries me the worst or bothers me the most out of all this is the priceless parking lot.
I don't know about that.
Wet.
Kathy, who's pregnant?
I think she's meaning Candace.
What?
No, I think she got her tubes tied.
Oh, it's more than tied.
She said too many kids and lost too many kids.
Earthing Ozarks, I appreciate the compliment.
sorry,
I hope you have a wonderful night.
I do know that they call it different things now, but remember, I'm an old lady. Back then, we called it tubes tied.
Yeah, it has something to do with hot water and tying them, tying them now.
I don't know.
Use hot water to cauterize, I believe.
Cauterize.
As high as that woman stays, I don't think she could get pregnant and stay that way anyways.
It's like 2 in the morning for you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I cannot concentrate to listen to it right now. I'll have to do it after this, but I don't hear Molly playing it. I don't hear the little girl on that portion, but they're only playing a portion of it. So I'm going to have to look further into it to be sure, but I think RJ is right. I don't think you can hear Summer in the original call at all.
She's not.
Saying mommy.
Yeah.
No.
I was thinking more Betty Bullhorn would have it.
Bullhorn Betty.
Yeah. Did I say? Sorry.
Betty Bullhorn.
Mm-hmm.
Tashi, don't worry about them. I'm not. I appreciate you saying something about me being a passionate person. If they want to take my passion, being passionate about what happened with Summer Wells as being rude, I'm more than happy to take it as a compliment. But I do appreciate you standing up for me.
You're good, RJ.
Yeah, everyone just be respectful. Everyone's opinions are going to be different. People are going to get upset. It's a very hard topic. True crime's hard. True crime's a hard topic, period. So everyone just make sure please y'all just stay respectful to each other. Say all your opinions. Everyone is allowed their own opinions. Just keep it respectful. Don't down anyone else for their own opinion, okay? Please.
So many of us are passionate about this case too, and it's hard, especially looking at it 2 years later and there's still no answers.
Well, I would also like to say too, if they tested those remains for one child who didn't come back for a match, and they found those remains of September of 2022, don't you think at this point they've already tested them for her?
Yeah, I don't know for certain myself, but I'm
I
highly
don't either, but
confident that is the case.
think it would be the case. Because I would think they would run down any child in that age range that's been missing from that area. Again, I could be wrong, but just based on the article itself, I did reread it. It doesn't say that she was excused from being part of the remains, but I also think that at this point, if those remains were tested for her, we would know by now. It wouldn't be like a year later and us still not knowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I just don't think it's her. I mean, that's just, again, my opinion, but I don't think it's her.
A lot of times a missing person, when they find out who they are, does not actually land up being reported who they are. For instance, there was a woman about a year ago that was found very early in the morning. I want to say like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning on the exit from 81 going on to 26. And they immediately took her remains to Quellen, which on the Tennessee side, it's basically like them taking the remains of the child up to Roanoke. Quellen locally is where they would go for the DNA testing and all of that. They've never ever released the information of identifying her, but they said they have identified her. That could be a couple of reasons. It's an ongoing investigation. They want to keep that information silent, or they found out, contacted the family, and the family doesn't want it released. They have that legal right to do that.
Oh, exactly. I'm just thinking, like, if it was Summer, we would at least have some kind of idea at this point, because neither one of the Wells are in custody. If they had anything to do with it, I don't know that they did. I don't know if they didn't. That's neither here nor there. But I think there would be at least some type of investigation update without revealing that they found her remains, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it would be a major press conference if they found her remains. This is her missing is a national news story.
Right. So I would have to say a year later, with no updates, it just leads me to believe that it's not her.
Could have been ongoing investigation.
I don't understand
Very
why
true.
there were zero updates after a year period. Why wouldn't they say what if the sex of the remains or anything they do know? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't they update anything about them?
Ongoing investigation.
Oh, ma'am, I didn't see this earlier. We love you too.
Finally found it.
I saw Don's question.
Okay, yes. The crossless parking lot. Why does that concern you?
So on June 15, 2021, it was 83 degrees as a high that day. You're parking a vehicle on a blacktop parking lot, windows up, no air condition, no fan, no air circuit, no fan, the car wasn't running. Within the time frame that the Wells were at, Candace and Candy were both in Priceless, the car would have reached at least 115 degrees internal temperature.
Yep.
That's more than enough time in the approximately 45 minutes. I've heard actually as long as about 55 minutes time,
And
which
the
would actually
kids,
push that temperature up to above 120 degrees.
The kids heat up a lot faster than adults.
Bingo, Mab, exactly. So that is more than enough time for, if you've ever had a kid that has run an extremely high temperature, they always tell you there's a degree to watch out for if it's crossing and maintaining 105 degrees. The first thing you need to be doing is giving that child a bath in room temperature water.
Yeah.
To help bring that child's temperature down, so the water will actually absorb some of that temperature, because that's enough time and a temperature for the child to have, excuse my expression, start to cook.
Yeah, probably 120, 130 degrees.
Think of it this way. When you cook in a slow cooker, if you have a crock pot or a slow cooker, what's your low temperature that you're cooking at?
Over 100.
Approximately 155, 180 degrees.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I do 225 myself.
Big trigger warning, y'all. Big trigger warning. Yeah, my internet, the chat was freezing for me too, y'all. It's just YouTube did it. I think it was a glitch, but we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
She says
I apologize for being so frank and blunt about it, folks, but it's what concerns me the most about all the events that happened that day.
I mean,
it is what it is.
What, Mike?
It is what it is.
So as Don Michelle says, that's totally plausible, RJ. Totally plausible. Absolutely. You know, it's just hard to hear. You know, of course it's going to be hard to hear. It just sucks. But it's a totally plausible theory. And aside from all the other crazy theories that even I've came up with, it's the one that makes the most sense, you know? Why would the windows be up if Hunter was in the car with her? If it got too hot, they would have gotten out, I figure.
That could be a reason why they had her laying on the milk jugs, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was to try and bring her body temp down because they did leave her in the car.
Yep. Yes, and let's consider that they did go swimming before, and supposedly after swimming, she was changed or put into her tracksuit. So we have potentially having a bathing suit on, a nylon pair of nylon material tracksuit pants, and a tracksuit windbreaker style jacket on top of that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Her body has no chance of having air get to her skin. Even if that car temperature was rising, that air temperature was not getting to her skin to allow her perspiration to cool her. And you're asking, why would they leave Hunter? Why didn't Hunter open a window?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask again. Like that's a good question. Why wouldn't Hunter open the window if he were in there waiting with her, you know?
So maybe Hunter opened the door at some point.
And it could have been too late.
Exactly.
So you're asking a 15-year-old boy to know what point it's too hot in a vehicle for a child that's 5 years old, who's more interested in watching videos on TikTok and texting messaging his girlfriend potentially than he is paying attention to a 5-year-old or the internal temperature of a car. BB Diamond, I think the age of that vehicle, it was crank windows.
Okay, so Jamie Smith says my daughter has febrile issues.
Febrile seizures.
Yeah. At 105, you go into a seizure. So, I mean, that's also... I mean, the heat could cause any kind of deadly issue in a 5-year-old. Easily.
One of my daughters deals with those too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know as an adult at one point, I had some infected kidney stones and I had them blasted, but they were infected. So a couple of days later, I actually had a temperature of 105 degrees. And my organs all started shutting down. And at that point, I'm like a 42-year-old woman. So if you have a kid with a temperature of close to 105, they're like already brain dead, basically.
Right. Lindley, that's a great point. She was hollered at for trying to drink that Sunkist, the supposed Sunkist that was on the back seat, and was given a bottle of water that had been in the car all day. So you're putting a hot fluid. You might as well have given her a cup of hot tea. And we know it's not that exact temperature, but you understand. You can understand my point in this. It's not something that's going to go in her and be a cooling factor for her.
Yeah, it's going to be a scalding down your throat.
Exactly.
Liquid.
Do you like to drink a hot liquid? Do you like to drink a hot glass of water?
What do we know, RJ?
In 130 degrees.
What do you think about not even, like, we don't even have facts that the milk jug photo was from that day? You know? I think it was.
That's correct. And that's actually a question I've actually raised.
Okay. What do you think?
The brand of milk that was in the vehicle was Mayfield. The price list does say and I had somebody I did a live on this and was looking at this information, and granted it was well after the when this was done,
Okay.
But when you contact the priceless and ask them if they ever carried that brand, they will tell you yes, they did carry it, but they don't know the people that are currently there don't know the date in which they discontinued.
RJ, it was not Mayfield brand. I'm gonna try to show you. I'm not gonna say it
thought
was
it like Pepperidge Farms or Prairie Farms or something.
I just want to say, Ruby Joy, I agree with you.
I'm not going to say it was not, all matter of fact, because I wasn't there. But I want to show you the pictures I had put together in a collage of the milk.
Mm-hmm.
And see what you think. Let me find them. It's going to take me a minute. I have so many pictures in this messenger. And does anyone remember when we looked up the milk, if the Prairie Farm brand, I believe it was Prairie Farm, if they, well, that doesn't matter because it would have been 2 years earlier, so they could have sold it then. You know what I'm saying? No matter the brand.
That's the issue with the Mayfield brand. Is at one point they did sell it, but they stopped selling it, but they don't know when they stopped selling it.
Yeah.
The current employees don't know when they stopped selling it.
Was there something wrong with the milk?
No, Mayfield is just an expensive brand, and the store Priceless, for those that aren't familiar, is a cost plus 10% store. So, of all the items that the store is actually making, they're only making 10% or top of the price of what's listed on the shelf. Other than that, it basically is what the cost is of the from the distributor or the supplier for each item.
Yep.
All right, here it is. I'm gonna see what you RJ, okay? And everyone in chat, whoever, we're all here.
Mama, he trying to go to sleep.
I know he's gonna break his neck because I'm not supporting his head like a newborn child. Okay, here we go.
It's usually a sign that a child has a headache. A cat has a headache because they're laying down with their head back like that.
Yeah, it's because I'm not supporting his head. Look at him. He just wants me to hold him up because he's so fat. Look, okay, here's the milk. I hope he doesn't have a headache. That'd be really sad. Here's the milk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me what you think. It's just this right here.
Mm-hmm.
The label, all of this label part can change. But the Prairie Farms right there, I wish I had, hold on, let me look for I know I made a collage. Oh my gosh. It went all the way back to the top of my media. But
okay, well, I may have the wrong brand or said the wrong brand, but still, they don't carry it any longer.
Right, and I wish more than anything. But it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because they can find store surveillance footage of them being there at that time. That's for them to investigate. The milk. The bigger question is, why was that baby laying on the freezing cold milk sleeping? That's the bigger question. What child can stay asleep against 5 cold gallons of milk or 4 or however many were there without waking up? Even if you're super hot.
She does not look good in that picture.
I don't think she does either, but how can we prove anything? Like so many pictures have been photoshopped on the internet and put back up.
Jamie Smith, that's a really interesting question. what was his acting out, and why was he in a mental institute and now in state custody? Not in jail, but Hunter H.
Oh wow.
Why was he in a mental institute getting counseling, and also now is in foster care system?
H is in foster system.
Mm-hmm. So is his sister True?
No.
What?
Mm-hmm. They are both are. Yeah.
Wow. What?
Why were they taken? Huh?
Yeah. So he did flip out.
Did he?
Let's not forget that H knows information that the police have said that he is not allowed to speak of. And that comes from TBI. There's a 2-hour block of time that he is not allowed to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
He has
well,
been
Candace
under
goes
a
over there
huge...
and talked to him right afterwards too, didn't she?
I'm sorry?
Didn't Candace go over there and talk to him right after all that happened?
The day after, yes. Hunter has been under a huge amount of stress since Summer has went missing, and I don't believe it has anything to do with him doing something. It's just he has information that is pertinent, and it may be part of the reason why this is dragging on so long. Is they're trying to get him to be stable and out of trouble.
Listen, guilt will drive you to the point of insanity, 100%. And I believe that that's what we've seen with the Wells. Other than them being under the influence and being a little bit crazy in the first place, I can see guilt driving them insane. And imagine H being under that guilt. It would do the same thing.
As a 15-year-old kid?
Yes.
You know, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm putting on there additional as a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah,
he's a 15-year-old kid who looked at Summer like his sister, probably, and if he knows what happened, that's going to eat him alive.
And his brain isn't even all the way developed. Like you can't. How is he supposed to handle that? And
Exactly.
even if he knows something, he's going to go insane.
He's going to act out. He's going to need counseling. And from my information, which others have disputed, they try to say that he was just locked up. He was not locked up in juvie or anything like that. He was put into a
mental evaluation hold
for a child.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And now one more question, and then I'm going to drop down.
Okay, go ahead.
Is there, with the pictures with the milk,
I'm going to drop down too.
that they can't identify that those
You're not
pictures
mad,
were
we love
taken?
I'm sorry, Shay. Everybody was talking over you. Couldn't hear your question.
So my question is that nobody can say for sure that the pictures that were taken with the milk were the day of the actual disappearance. Has anybody been able to zoom in on those milk jugs or anything and find a sell-by date or something to be able to kind of prove if it was like that? You know what I mean? Because usually you have milk in the store and it has a sell-by date, which usually isn't much more than a week away from when you purchased it.
That's a really good.
I believe that H was used, and this is part of his mental stress and why he has actually acted out and flipped out. To tie this together with what we were talking about a moment ago, is that H was used as a proof of life that day. He was used in a way that to identify that Summer was alive and Summer was well. And there was no problems when they dropped him off for his doctor's appointment. That he actually said he placed the milk jugs next to her and she fell asleep on them. And he says that was June 15th. That's the only proof that we have.
Hey, Jamie, that's another good point. If they're telling him that he's a little bit at fault, he'll be terrified to tell what he knows.
Well, imagine if Candace were to have she obviously went over and talked to him. What if she threatened him? It's like we don't know what she said to him, so he's probably terrified for real.
Yeah, and what Tutti Frutti says, I could see, I mean, I don't know, obviously no one can prove, but I can see something going on between him and Can. And if that, I mean, she could be holding that against him too, making him think he would be the one to get in trouble for that. There's a lot of reasons he wouldn't be able to talk. Oh, bye, Shanae. Thank you for coming up.
I personally think that it's when I look at it, and I'm not saying I know an answer because goodness, the way I found information would shock people. Okay. I'm not saying what I know and the amount of information that I found, it would shock people. All right. I'd have to go through a year and a half worth of videos to explain everything. Or two, about a year and a half. The events that happened that day and the order of the events that happened that day, the H is extremely critical to telling what actually happened to Summer Wells. Do I know any of the answers? I'll be the first person to tell you. I can only tell you what makes the most logical sense of a natural progression of activity, and tell you what I believe is the most troublesome points and places, and back it with facts. But I'll tell you I'm the first person to say that I don't know everything that happened.
Yeah, no one does unless they're in the car with them, you know. Or, you know what I mean, with them that day.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, though. Keep going. Were you going to tell RJ?
No, I was actually stammering, kind of agreeing with you, but I didn't really have anything to say at the moment.
Sharon says she doesn't believe they ever went to the swimming hole. Their car was seen at the swimming hole, but for a lot longer than just swimming time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. The horse stables, the workers at the horse stables say they saw them there pretty much all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which there was a theory that was going around that there was a vehicle change at some point during the day.
And that would be why their car was left there, if that were the case. Yeah.
All they have to do is be back by dusk to pick up that vehicle. It gets sit there all day.
Mm-hmm. So that's a good point, Gunnersville Girl Wood. Candace was supposedly worried about giving H alcohol and smokes, well, vapes, and him telling Ellie. Remember, she was so worried about him telling Ellie who that vape and Twisted Tea was for, because she said it was for her mom. Mm-hmm. And she says, I think there's more the way his family appeared to be sheltering him. Well, and his mom also admitting, she said on video, she said, he didn't tell me everything that happened that day. And they also said that he was acting super weird when he came in that day from being with Can. So I think that I don't know why anyone would hide what happened unless H would get in trouble and the family doesn't want him in trouble too. And that's why they would keep quiet.
There's that 2-hour window again that TBI and FBI told Hunter not to speak to anybody about. If you go back and look at the Chris McDonough interviews, they'll talk about that exact thing, that there's a 2-hour window he is not allowed to talk about. And somebody asked if it was a gag order. I don't think it was a gag order. I think they just told him that he can't talk about that time frame because of it's a key to an investigation and could destroy the investigation. So I don't know. I haven't heard of it being a gag order issue.
In that TikTok video of her showing the wildflowers and swinging over and showing H, and then he put something down really fast in the video and stood up real fast, and I'm sure that was the twisted tea he was drinking. But other than that, did we see Grandis in that video?
No.
Okay, so Michelle Reed, Duncan, I always wondered if she was even there also, because someone had was it you, Huntress, had a very, very, very likely theory. And y'all, this is speculation. This is like, I even hate saying it because if it's not true, it's disgusting to say. But what if H and Can were in the truck doing some naughty things and they left Summer in the water and she drowned while they were doing that, and they couldn't tell anyone how she passed, so they covered it up. And that would make Candace okay. And that wouldn't make Candace, that wouldn't make Grandis, like, she wouldn't be there. It would just be those two.
So I went out to, let me answer this question. Good vibes? No, I am not LE. I am not in any means or capacity an agent of law enforcement. Okay. I work in a medical related field, and that's all I say about that online, because it could, saying anything more than that could cause issues with my 9 to 5. So I do appreciate, no, you're good. I don't have an issue with answering that. Just, that's all I can say about my personal job. But it has nothing to do with law enforcement. It's medical related.
Okay.
That's quick. I drew a blank on your question, Dumpling.
What was my question?
That's what I'm asking. I drew a mental blank. I was about to answer your question after I answered his. I just drew a mental blank on it.
Okay, so why? Shanae, you don't have to thank us.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you for the super chat, Shanae, but you're welcome up anytime, okay? Welcome up anytime. So what I was asking was, oh yeah, was Grandis there? How do we know if Grandis is really there? What if H and Can were spending some time alone and left Summer to swim, thinking, she'll be fine. She knows how to swim. It's, you know what I mean? And something happened to her, and they couldn't admit what they were doing and how they.
She was with them at some point, because didn't they see her on the Sonic cameras?
Yeah. Like 2 cars. Like, well, their car being there all day. What if she was driving in one car and then they met later? I don't know. My head's spinning.
So to answer your question the best I possibly could is, I'll be more than happy to get you links tomorrow. I have to find the video or videos that I did when I went there. And recorded the area around where Summer was swimming.
Yeah.
If you go down and you're facing the water, you cannot go to the left. It's soft sand or quick mud. Okay. You can only go straight ahead or to the right. But to expect somebody that would be an immobilizer would not be able to walk around down there. There's too many roots. There's too many changes. And it's not just like a dirt path. The tree roots are like steps, and they're not even. It would not be possible for her to walk.
For who to walk? Grandis with her bum knee?
Yes. With an immobilizer on. She wouldn't be able to walk that. I have a bum knee, and it was bothering me to walk through that area.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. And Cindy, guys, y'all are awesome. Thank y'all for the super chats. I appreciate y'all so much. When Grandis was on the news, she sounded like she wasn't there. Yeah, I know. Y'all are so sweet. I love you too, Sissy. I love all of you. Let me pull up that video real quick.
I personally think that whole family is on something, but that's just my opinion.
Well, they, yeah, girls. I think allegedly I agree with you on that one.
I don't think you have to include the alleged part. I mean, it's fairly
No doubt.
obvious when you have videos where you have to question whether or not one person or the other, without mentioning names, in the middle of an interview shoots up something, and then all of a sudden, within just a matter of minutes, is in a completely different mental state from before they were going to the bathroom live on the interview.
Yeah, yeah.
We're talking about Dawn on Dolly's.
I don't think it was Dolly, but there was.
He went to the bathroom on Dolly Vision too.
He did.
Or Dolly is.
He went pee
Oh,
and
apparently he
everybody
frequents the bathroom on the live.
he pulled a Luna.
Shut up.
All right, look, y'all, let's watch this real quick. Now, this would just be Grandis. It's just like, it's super short. But this could just be Grandis getting her words mixed up, guys, or not saying it right, or me taking it the wrong way. So, like, as in her not remembering what the swimming hole was called. But I thought it was interesting to say that, to say, hey, Rosie. Hey, Rosie May.
Luna, we only tease you.
I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just telling her. I said we only tease her because we love her.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right.
I understand that.
Let's
I love
watch.
you guys too.
At the horse stables, I believe it was.
At the horse stable, I believe it was. What the heck? Why did it only play like 2 seconds?
It's still playing.
Then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day. At the horse stables, I believe it was.
That's just what. So I don't know if she's saying, guys. I don't know if that's relevant at all. She's just trying to think of what the place was called. But if she were there, she was sitting in the truck at least. She wasn't walking around like you said, RJ. That neat. Here's Lindley had a question for you.
Do I have a theory on what happened to Summer once they made it home? Sure, absolutely. Listen to the way that Candace spoke about the events that happened. Summer was always an afterthought. When they returned to the property with the groceries, she said she had to go get the boys to help with the groceries, and she had to open the door for Summer to get out. So she's describing a trip of she got out of the truck, went to the house, got the boys, went back to the truck to get groceries, and then she thought about Summer. The natural progression of what should happen that day was that when she got out of the truck, Summer would have been next, and it wouldn't even have been a thought. It wouldn't have been an and statement. It would have been got home, let Summer out of the truck, and went to get the boys to go to get the help with the groceries.
Mm-hmm.
I would have got out of the truck, sent Summer in to get her brothers to get the groceries.
That's a great point as well.
Mhm.
But you wouldn't make the statement after you said you went and got the boys to help with the groceries and let Summer out of the truck.
Yeah, Rosie May, how she says, I woke up, it's the summer, get up, we're home, and she jumped right up. That wasn't convincing to me. That was trying to convince us to me.
Yep, it's a statement of convincing. That's not exactly. If you go back to what Chris McDonough and I know a lot of people are not fans of Chris McDonough, but you really do got to look at what Chris McDonough had done for. Even though the Wells were trying to say he was ruining the investigation. His involvement with bringing in Steve Johnson and the analyzing of what they said is so huge and mind-blowing because he points out things like that.
I want to watch that.
It's on Chris McDonough's channel.
Which one is it?
He did a series of interviews with Steve Johnson, I believe it is.
Okay.
Who had broken down what they were saying.
Okay. I gotta watch that. Also, Cotton. What do you think about Cotton? What do you think about that? I think she knew Cotton. I think that Dawn was incarcerated and she's a little hoozy and she was always at that water place fishing and everything else. And I think that she knew Cotton. I would 100% believe freaking Fred Hill. It's so weird to say that, but I believe Fred Hill's girlfriend when she wants to say that Cotton Hill had a thing with Can. And then he ends up.
Well, nobody said what she was fishing for.
Yeah, that's right.
Men or fish. I mean, you never know.
Passing away. That's a freak accident from falling off a cliff. Come on. And that's disgusting. Reaper's gonna smile.
So, what do I believe about Cotton?
Cotton.
I believe he frequented Ben Hill. Not specifically the Wells, but just Ben Hill in general. Because it was this hidden little secret that people can get away with as much as they did for a while. And what happened there was, is there a possibility that there's a flirtation or something going on? Sure. Let's look at the rumors of what happened when Jose was there. Supposedly, every single woman that was in that family wanted Jose.
Yeah. Well, heck, I've seen her all googly-eyed over freaking Benny Keith. She's like that with any man that comes around.
And look how the interactions with I'm not going to name his full name, creator ES.
Able to be.
Yeah.
Wait, he is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Look how enamored she gets. Well, all of a sudden when he shows up on a panel.
Here's my question: does anybody know if Candace's dad was involved in her life when she was a kid?
Yeah, she might have some.
It sounds like issues you would have from your dad not being around. You know what I mean? Like.
And God, I didn't have a dad around either, so I'm not judging, but an attention issue. She needs attention.
Let me step away.
When I was a kid, so I can't say much either, but I'm just observing, and that's what it sounds like to me.
Let me step away for 2 minutes. I'll be more than happy to come back and answer more questions and talk about this some more. I just need to get some water and hit the head real quick. I apologize.
Okay, go for it. Hey, Dawn.
Amy Lou said, "You're echoing."
You sound like a robot. Okay, I'll come back. I heard that.
Amy Lou said he raised the girls because Grandis left them for a woman.
Huh?
Well, I guess that answers my question then.
There you go. Okay, so Grandis said the boys helped with the groceries, and of course Summer, if I'm remembering right. Kay's Candle, yes. She said, and of course Summer. Of course Summer. Like, we were supposed to know, like, of course Summer helped. Of course Summer jumped up and helped with the groceries. She jumped right up like it was nothing, yeah. Or like nothing.
Do you see Michelle's comment?
Where, hold on, let me go down.
He was married to my cousin at one time. He did fall off a cliff, and I don't see him do anything to Summer, but I can see him fooling around with Candace.
Okay, so.
Say what?
You can see him fooling around with Candace. Let's theorize that Dawn found out when he got out of jail. What if he did something, push him off that freaking cliff? And didn't they say he had brain aneurysms, and after that he was never right in the head? He was just a little bit, he wasn't there all the way after that. So he was kind of unpredictable. Is that true, Michelle?
I mean, I get accidents happen, but the probability of you falling off of a cliff, being an avid climber of those said cliffs, I don't know, man. It's.
Oh my gosh, baby Diamond. Well, Dawn's hair was not dark either. So, and and Can's hair is like a hazel brown, not a dark brown or anything either. So you scared me, baby Diamond. Don't be. Oh my gosh. Hey, okay, Dawn.
Am I echoing?
No.
Not bumping with the uglies. Not bumping uglies with Candace.
Yep.
Not a victim.
Sorry about that.
I'm
What's up,
positive.
Dawn?
I don't know. I was gonna say about the way that Grandis said, oh, and of course, Summer, you addressed it when I was waiting. But yeah, the way she said it was odd. She didn't say the kids helped me with the groceries. She's like, the boys helped me with the groceries. Oh, and of course, Summer. Like, she was an afterthought. And as well as when RJ explained that about the, the heat and everything. And I've always said that something happened, whether it was a dry drowning or something. She was taking that video or that picture supposedly of Summer with her arm up. I have always thought that was odd. And I think that she was trying to get a picture to show Dawn what Summer was doing because it was freaking her out.
Yes.
And I think she was trying to get a picture, but Grandis did not know how to deal with the camera, so she took the video of her, and you get them interacting. Is her arm still up? Because she didn't say anything about, oh, she looks like her daddy in that video or anything.
Oh, look, get it, Mom, get it. She didn't sound like I would sound video of my kids trying to catch something. And you know what, Dawn, I'm glad you said that because it wouldn't go along with the story that supposedly Grandis told her friend Ziggy, not the creative Ziggy, the older woman, Grandis's friend Ziggy, told her about when, as soon as they got home, she got the groceries out, she got out of the car, left Summer in the car, called Dawn and said, Summer is not okay. Should I take her to the hospital? Grandis went to lay down to take a nap, and Candace left with Summer. And I think that's when Ken met up with Dawn, and they made a plan because she couldn't be evaluated because she had been SA'd, or they would have got arrested for neglect, at least neglect, or murder.
So you make a great point with that, Dumpling. Think of your own kids. When they were Summer's age and they got sick, what happened is, and I'm going to give you a description and tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. And ladies, this is open to anybody, but a child that's getting sick actually fights getting sick.
Yes.
And they are cranky, they are miserable, they are just highly irritated. You know something's wrong, something's up, you know it's coming, and then they keep trying to go at full tilt. And the more they push, the more miserable they get. And then all of a sudden they just hit a proverbial wall and crash. And then they're just like they're down and out. And that's exactly what happened this summer. At least my belief.
I have both situations. My neurotypical kids are like that. However, my autistic baby, sick or not, that child don't stop.
Right. That's a
Hey,
I apologize as being a little bit exclusive.
No, but I mean, a neurotypical child, like we're talking about, as far as we know, they are like that.
Right.
So mine are.
What did I just say? Before we get off here, I wanted to tell you that Michelle Reed Duncan's cousin was married to Cotton. And she says that she couldn't see him doing anything bad to her, but she couldn't see him messing with Can. And we asked her, we said, wasn't it true that Cotton, he had a brain aneurysm and he was never right after that? And that was her response. She says that his own daughter believes that someone could have pushed him off that cliff.
I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that's what happened. I don't know circumstances behind it. From everything I know, it was never investigated. And I apologize if I'm out of my lane here. But from what I understand, it was never investigated, but to be an accidental. But the rumors of him being on having issues with a substance for a majority of his adult life is pretty strong, and that given the nature of Candace, that she was a bit of a free spirit, shall we say, to be polite.
Mm-hmm.
That I can see that there was possibly an adult relationship going on.
Thank you, Tutti Frutti, for posting these.
Well,
But
I'll
we
just
have
put it
no
out
proof
here.
of it one way or the other, is my point of it.
Yeah. If Dawn and Candace, which we talked about this the other night when we were on at like 6 a.m. and nobody could take us serious, but if he were to have had relations with Candace and when Dawn was in jail, if they did something to that baby, what makes you think if Dawn found out he wouldn't do something to somebody else?
Exactly. If Candace said no, then it's yes. Yes, exactly, baby diamond. And C Star says, when Candace's arm was still up, I've wondered why. She said it's because Dawn slept that way. I think I will keep telling you guys, if a kid, if a person, anyone, if a human being has a head injury, it is normal for their reflexes to make their arms go straight up from that head injury. Okay? And
It's called posturing.
Posturing.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Dawn. I didn't know what it was called, but she could have been injured at that watering hole or the swim hole, whatever you call it. Guys, before we leave, can we put some purple and yellow hearts in chat for Summer? But she couldn't see her. She could see her in that rearview mirror.
I never have ruled out that dry drowning was not a possibility of an accidental. However, dry drowning would be the same thing as I was describing before. A child would fight, being sick, and then crash.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2 teaspoons of water in a child's Summer's age is enough to cause dry drowning.
Oh, that's so
And there was never evidence. Nobody had ever described her as being sounding like she all of a sudden had pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what dry drowning would result in, or show signs of, like a child is all of a sudden having pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I lean more towards the issue being with the Priceless parking lot than it is with the swimming hole. But I never have ruled out that something couldn't have happened at the swimming hole.
And also, if you're having seizures too, I would think that your arms would be up like that in a rigid type of, you know. And if
Yeah.
she got overheated and she was hot and it was because of the heat, then that is very possible too. Like, I think that it's some kind of medical situation that they covered up because they didn't want to get caught. But
When
then
my daughter had
again,
her seizures, I don't remember her arms ever going over her head.
Hold on, guys. Good night, Reaper's Gonna Smile. I love you, and thank you for the super
night.
chat. I hope you get some good rest. So how'd she see her arms up in the first place? I guess in the rearview mirror, but she couldn't turn around to video her with her phone because she was driving, I guess. You know?
Reapers, it was a great conversation with you. Sorry, I wanted to throw that out there real quick.
Oh, no,
oh,
you're
no,
good.
good. That's fine.
Also, she said that's why she asked Grandis, is her arm up still, because she couldn't see her. I don't know about that, baby Diamond. That's a good question. How
Oh
did
no,
she
Matt just said they had an earthquake.
Oh no, Matt.
Oh my gosh.
Are you okay? In California. Are you okay?
I'm
Because you can
assuming
see,
he's all right if he's on YouTube.
because you can see, hush. Because you can see Candace losing her temper with the kids after us witnessing her scream at Smiley. I've never been comfortable with her being left in the truck with H. Surprised Grandis didn't sit in the truck at the grocery store. Y'all. Yeah, it was a small one. Okay, good, Matt. So with her screaming the way she did at Smiley on panel, it had so much aggression and anger behind it. It was terrifying. It scared me. It triggered me. I was like, holy crap, that was scary. And
that was an aha moment to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you showed your true colors finally. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
And I mean, trigger warning, honestly, after hearing that call with Smiley, who's to say Summer was fine, but was upset that she didn't get to say goodbye to Hunter or goodbye to Allie? And she started fussing, and Candace backhanded her or something, hurt her, gave her a brain injury that was non-survivable.
Holy.
Like
I mean,
what
she did backhand her in the school parking lot in front of people.
You know, I mean, there's so many options and so many theories that speculation, allegedly, just saying there's so many things that could have gone wrong that
So many.
Right.
they would have to cover up.
She screamed at an adult stranger on the internet where everybody could see it. Imagine how she is behind closed doors.
Right.
So here's what the aha moment was to me, though.
Okay.
Did you pay attention to what she said and how she said it?
Tell us.
She turned the table and blamed Smiley for
Yep.
what happened to Summer.
He said, "What did you do with
What
her?"
did you do to my daughter? Yeah.
Right.
Who else has been doing that exact thing all along?
Good Dawn. Dawn.
Yes.
Dawn.
Yes.
Candace's anger sounded deep. She wanted to fight. Yeah, she. Yeah.
So
And
her guttural reaction was to do the same thing she had been doing in all the interviews except for the very first one with WJHL, which is to been either repeat what somebody else had already said or write down to best to her memory what somebody else said and hand it to the reporter as a statement. She's covering something up.
She was very angry, because it wasn't because of Summer. They even said it has nothing to do with Summer. When why are you there if it's not got to do with Summer? But she was angry because somebody was trying to take Dawn away from her. And
She's there to put her cash out and grift off of freaking YouTube.
But that was
what
one
about him talking to that one creator that shared. You know, she said I asked him to quit talking to her and he won't do it. She does. Candace, well, Amy Lou says Candace wasn't even mad. She was acting. Nobody gets over being that mad that quick to immediately apologize to Daisy in chat. She is also not completely there in the head. People have came out and said that Candace has had trauma in her life that has caused her to mentally not be okay as an adult.
When did that video of the confrontation with Smiley happen? Was that on Tuesday?
Let me look.
Wasn't it Monday?
I know it's not there anymore. I think
It's
they took
not.
it down.
You deleted it again?
I don't know I didn't know they put it back up. I thought they had originally taken it down.
Just your best recollection, because I never saw the original.
It's
I
still
only
there,
heard it.
and it was 2 days ago. And you did hear it?
I'm saying off your best recollection what day it was. I didn't hear originally. I saw the short of it.
Tuesday.
So, okay. So it happening early Tuesday morning.
Yes, in the middle of the yeah.
Have you heard about what happened Monday night going into Tuesday?
Good night, Shanae. We love you, and thank you so much for the super chat and coming up and chatting with us. Please come back up and hang out with us and have a good day at work tomorrow. And
Good night.
What was your question, RJ?
Okay, so your chat is actually saying Monday. So my point of what I was trying to make is mute.
Is what?
Mute, invalid.
Oh, okay. Well, what was your point though? I was interested.
I was going to say, I remember seeing the short of it happening on Tuesday, and it was all off of somebody else's members channel or member side. So I wasn't sure when it happened to be exactly. But it kind of does explain one way or the other leading up to an emotional state of and course of action of what happened. Did you hear about what happened Monday night going into Tuesday?
No.
No.
I don't know.
The police were at Ben Hill Road.
Yes. The police were at Ben Hill Road, and that was because
Didn't Smiley call on him?
Molly
yeah.
called.
Okay.
Because Candace had a black eye.
She called for a welfare check, yes, and that's why Cam was so mad at her.
Well, I think the venom and vigor continued on from there, but supposedly, and I'm going to preface it this way because there's been a lot of spin. If you watch a certain creator, Cal creator, on her live today of what supposedly happened, and the fact that it is so conveniently that Candace is now taking a road trip, but it fits in very well that they may have, and again, I'm using a lot of may have, alleged type of words here, folks. Please bear with me. If what has been rumored is true, it makes 100% sense that the police would have asked Candace to leave and allow Don to remain on the property.
Right.
Because that property is through the deeded trust is Don Wells's property. Candace has no claim to it.
Have a good work day, Tammy. Right.
So she would have to leave if they cannot prove what happened. And the police feel it's best to separate the parties.
You're right. Yeah. Who's she going on a road trip with?
I don't know that information.
Somebody said earlier that she was going to Georgia or something.
That was that is the rumor, but I don't know the persons that she knows well enough to sit there and go, oh, it's this person or that person. I can't do that.
Who did she have to ask?
Would you have to ask Dawn's permission to leave?
Baby Diamond said
No.
Candace asked to leave. Candace said I wanted to leave. I asked if I could leave. Who did she have to ask? Where'd you hear her say that, Baby Diamond?
So yeah, that's my point. Why did she have to ask anybody to leave?
With her friend Deanna. Okay.
If she wanted to leave, which I said while Candace was still in Arkansas, and Don had to return to Tennessee, that I believe that they were going to be either they are separating or they're going to be separating very soon.
Right. I've heard that today too, and I 100% believe it.
I said that 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago.
Do you hear anybody?
I'm sorry.
Okay, then nobody's up here. What's here?
Oh, she's listening, Dolly. But yeah, we're gonna hop off. I'm gonna head over there too. We've been on for 3 hours.
You ain't gonna be able to see people.
It's crazy. Okay. RJ, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with us and talking about your
Anytime.
knowledge,
Yeah, thank you,
love
RJ.
your college, and your opinions. So thank
Anytime.
you.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't pretend I know every single answer, but if I have information to share, I will gladly share it. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but where I jumped on about the trash can in the woods being found, I remember, like I said, I remember, but I couldn't find because they took the articles down.
If
But
anyone
it
can,
did not. It was, I believe it was WCYB said that it was not Summer, had nothing to do with Summer.
Mhm. Well, if I have a theory and anyone can, correct me, I will gladly be corrected because I want to know facts. If my
Yeah,
theory,
I'm the same way.
yeah. So
If you, tell me
Yeah,
I'm
well,
wrong because I
well,
would
yeah,
love
I
to
don't want anyone to ever
know
be
the
like,
facts.
"Oh, don't tell Dumplin' she's not wrong. She's not right." Yes, please correct me if you know. You know what I mean?
Well, a
So,
couple people that were passing through that I gave a very rude answer to on purpose were saying that I'm a rude person, and that's not my intent. Is to not pretend I know all the answers. I don't know all the answers. I'll be the first person to tell you that. But if I know something, I'll be more than happy to share it. It's not to correct anybody or prove anybody wrong. It's just let's get all the facts out there, no matter if they're good, bad, or ugly.
right,
Put all the information out there.
as many facts as we can because we don't have many at this point.
I find your content very valuable, and I feel like you're very in tune to what's going on, especially with the Summer case. So,
I'll be honest. I'll be the first person to tell you that the people do a lot of research for me and do help me are probably asleep at this point. But I have two people that are absolutely excellent at doing research. Two of my mods the two of them are my mods. Um, they're absolutely excellent doing research. If I sit there and I say I'm not sure if I'm seeing this right or I'm reading this right, and I give them a link to an article or give them information and give them my viewpoint or what I think I'm understanding, they're very good at researching it or coming back and countering it and saying, hey, look, I'm not sure this is it, but I'm also seeing this. So I've been very fortunate all along with great people that do research with me.
absolutely. I feel like everybody's opinion is valuable too. I feel like it's very interesting to hear everybody's speculation and theories, and it gives you things to think about. That's for sure. And
Yeah.
we just need to pray she gets found soon.
Absolutely.
And pray for that baby, whoever it is found in that trash can in the woods. That's awful.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me up.
Thank you for coming up, Crackling
You're
Turtle.
welcome.
I'll see y'all at Dolly.
All right.
Love you.
All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Ladies, have a wonderful evening. It is 3:00 here. It is time for me to go to bed. It's my pumpkin time, so to speak, and I have to be at work in 8 hours or up for work in 8 hours, or less than 8 hours. So
All right.
it is time for me to get sleep. Have a good night.
Get some
Good
rest.
night.
All right, guys, y'all don't forget if you're watching the replay, even if you were here, leave a comment on the replay video. It helps the algorithm. Hit the like, all that good stuff. Thank you, everyone that came up tonight. Thank you all for being respectful to everyone's opinions. I don't want anyone to be down for their opinion. That's the silliest thing in the world is someone getting angry at someone else's opinion. If you don't agree, ignore that comment. Thank you to all of our mods for working so hard in here. BB Diamond has 3 hours to sleep. You need to get some rest.
Sounds like me.
Yep. And we will see you guys sometime tomorrow. Maybe we can talk Huntress into going live on her page, Down South TC. Do you want to put your page in the comments?
No, I can try to find it. Give me a second.
Here, I'll do it.
You know my computer's a lot slower than molasses.
Yeah. Are you on your computer right now?
No, I'm on my phone, but it takes a year to get anything moving.
Dang it. Okay. Down south. It's still you. Oh, okay. I found it.
I don't know why it's pulling up as the other name,
Yeah, that was weird.
even after you type that in.
Okay, guys, here's Huntress's channel. If you have not subscribed to it, please do, because we go live on there when we're not live on here. And if you watch Dolly's, we will see you over at Dolly's. I think I'm going to try to join his panel and see what we can get into over there. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Justice Jane. She says good night.
Good night.
Amy Lou, BB Diamond, missing. Justice Jane has put a missing thing up. Okay, guys, thank you all for being here, and we will see you all sometime tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.